From the developers of the least final of fantasies comes a remake of a series classic that you never played because it was only on PSP. A game that answers the question, what if Final Fantasy was just Kingdom Hearts? Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Discover the prequel to the iconic Final Fantasy VII, remastered for a new generation, and for a system that wasn't just for people that wanted to watch Fast and Furious in a public restroom, as Crisis Core comes back with revamped visuals and a new battle system, which together are almost enough to make you forget that you're still just playing a handheld game that they're basically charging full price for because they're actual monsters.
A monster's objective is usually world domination.
Since we're being honest, Square has always slung nostalgia around like toilet paper during COVID. Relive the story of Zack Fair, a black-haired version of Cloud with a much better attitude and a plot-limited lifespan, and discover the unknown story of Soldier as they introduce other players to the mix from the extended FF7 universe, like Inscrutable Knightly Duty Guy
And honor for honor. Honor can be quite a burden.
and Mr. Constantly Quoting Terrible Fake Shakespeare,
The wandering soul knows no rest.
which is just Gact being himself for like 12 hours, then guides Zack to the tragic ending that begins the events of FF7. And be pleasantly surprised that they didn't retcon it and change everything because of time ghosts or whatever. All while you cry into your hands because you still haven't gotten over it, even after 15 plus years. Their love was so pure. When you're tired of Zack's puppy dog-like energy, take a break from the dialogue and do some good old-fashioned grinding, as Crisis Core's mission mode gives you dozens of tiny bite-sized dungeons to blast through, which will boost your character far beyond the power level of the main story if you get serious about it, turning the game's difficulty into an actual joke, an effect that's amplified if you mess around with combining materia, turning you into an absolute nightmare that feels like you're pummeling everything at a Chuck E. Cheese. Seriously, why put in all that effort when you could just be squatting with your buds? I mean, come on, could it really be an FF7 game if there was no squatting involved? Get ready for the combat in the shiny remake of Core, and brings more streamlined action combat to the table, where your items, materia, and skills are easily accessible, and won't have you overshooting and fumbling around like the PSP version, but will absolutely have you using potions you didn't want to use because you accidentally thought it was the roll button. Then get into pitched and frantic battles that will have you running around the battlefield trying to dodge attacks, while waiting for the random roulette to break the game for you, giving you perks that will have you spamming attacks like an out-of-control lawnmower, until you run out of resources and just white-knuckle through the fight waiting on a limit break to pop. Not because it's hard, but because you're a video game hoarder and you have to have 99 unused potions, because you never know when you need to use one on the last boss, in an experience that takes away a lot of the RPG elements so you can just go ham, and honestly is a much better system for it. Also, if I have to hear conflict resolved one more time, I might throw my Switch into a ceiling fan.
Conflict resolved.
So take out that Buster Sword and get ready to squat it like it's hot for one of the better remasters to grace the Final Fantasy series that you'll probably enjoy if you're there to take a stroll down memory lane, and then you'll be fully ready to not understand Part 2 of the FF7 remake. Starring Zack the Hedgehog, One-Winged Angel, Malice Miserly, Weeaboo Alucard, Shang Shund, Just Gender-Bent Axel, Cumulo Nimrod, and Pre-Skewer. The Bittersweet Life of Zack and Cloudy. First FF7 and now this? Where's my Dirge of Cerberus remake, Squeenix? What are you, prejudiced against emo vampires? Then what about Gagged? Tell us what you'd like to hear in my epic voice in the comments below. You've got to make your free throws. Danger is like Jell-O. There's always room for more. Overconfidence is a slow and hilarious killer. Don't worry, I'm a dancer. I want to give Spider-Man a little smooch.